Okay, so this video is about animating in Premiere. So I'm just going to use this as a sample. And I need some B-roll to work with. Let's go ahead and just drag that down on the timeline. Okay, this is Cam 12 Anchor. That would be me. Okay. And let's see. I think we can put another, let's just import a picture. I want another layer. So I'm going to file import. And remember, if you're in my class, you're always importing from your Google Drive AVP stuff folder. And first 6 weeks, or whatever 6 weeks it is, wherever you have your project. I'll take this picture. So always import from the same folder, so you know where all your stuff is, and it moves with you, and you don't ever have Adobe come up with not knowing where your stuff is. Anyway, we have this picture, and let's say I like it. You remember that to make it bigger, well, to see it, I have to have the blue cursor over it. To make it bigger, I have to right-click and choose Scale to Frame Size. If I still don't like the size of it, I can then click and come up to Effects Controls, and I can choose Scale, and I can drag this to change the scale. Now I don't like the position. I don't want my nose in the top of the screen, so I can change the position over here as well by clicking and dragging. And there's my face all nice and big and pixelated because that wasn't a very big picture. And there you go. There's me in the middle. Now what if I want to move it so that you can see that certificate I was holding? That's when you're going to start animating. When you animate, you click on whatever it is you want to animate. Make sure you're clicked on that, not this, because if I clicked on this, I'm animating this. But this is what I want to animate. And then you come up here to this panel, and you're going to start setting keyframes along this timeline up here. It just shows where within the clip you want something to change. And so, of course, I want it to start right here. So I move this timeline thing to the very beginning. I want the position to start right here. And so I'm activating position to show this is what I want to make a move. And then I got to decide, where do I want it to start moving. I can take it to where I want it to end up and set a keyframe there. So maybe I want it to end up right here. I'll set a keyframe. And at the end of the clip, I would like to show the certificate. So I'm moving that to where the certificate is in the middle. And I'm moving that continuously. And then I'll move this over. And then I'll move this up again. And then I'll move that. Okay, there you go. Now the certificate's in the middle of the screen. And I have a keyframe marking where I want that to happen. So I can preview just by going like that. And there you go. You can also press space and play it and just see how fast it moves. I think that's a great pace, but if I thought it moved too slow, I can move these closer together. But then I have it stop at the end of my frame. Okay. The other time you might want keyframes is if you want something to fade in and out. So I'm going to do something I tell you guys not to do. I'm just dragging straight from the desktop into Adobe. I don't want you to do that because then when you move the stuff off your desktop, Adobe's not going to know where it is. So anyway, let's move further along this timeline. Let's drag this onto here. I like the Skeeter's logo. I want to change the position. If I come up here and start moving the position, it's not moving. That's because I have not clicked on it. So I'm going to Command Z undo that because I didn't want to move the other thing. Click on it and now come up here, move the position. And that's moving a different way than I wanted it. And that's moving. There we go. Get it over in that corner. And let's scale it down so it fits a little bit better. Okay. That's cute. Now, I want it to fade up. So for fading, I need 2 keyframes. 1 where it's not existing, and 2 where it's existing. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm changing opacity now. And it's already toggled on. I don't know why, but I'll go ahead and re-toggle it. Right here I want it full on opacity because I would like it shining. And then I'm going to come over here to near the end. I still want it full on opacity. So I'm going to put a keyframe right there. That's a placeholder keyframe. That means stays the same the whole time. And then I'm going to take it to the very end, put another keyframe, and opacity down to 0. And I'm going to take it back to the very beginning and put a keyframe and opacity to 0. So that's the way you do it. You need 4 frames if you're fading something in, because you need it off, and then you need to turn it on, and then you need to keep it on, and then you need it to go back off. So let me just erase this. Here's what most people are tempted to do. Most people are tempted to, oh, I'm turning it on, okay. And now I'm coming over here, and I'll put my keyframe, and over here I want it to 0. Okay, and that works, but it works at slowly fading out that Skeeter's logo. And that's not what you wanted to do. You wanted it on the whole time and then off at this point. So you'll need to add in a placeholder keyframe where at this point you want it still full on 100%. And then you have it holding, 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 fade out. But it didn't fade in because I need the initial keyframe for it to be at 0%. So you got one turning it first. Since it's already on, go ahead and set the inner keyframes where it's on 100%. Then go to the outside, set those outside keyframes where it's 0. So you have it off, and now you have it on, and then you have it going off. So I hope this was helpful at getting you a better idea of how to use these keyframes to mark your movements.